The sail from Rivière-au-Renard to L'Anse-Beaufils is about 60 nautical miles. We left under stormy skies and with swells on our beam surged east along the coast towards Perce and Bonaventure. The sheer size of the Gulf of St. Lawrence compared to our protected home waters of Lake Ontario can be intimidating. It's about 200 nautical miles to Port aux Basques, Newfoundland, 100 to Anticosti or Prince Edward Islands, and 180 nautical miles to Cape Breton. Weather systems originating in the Atlantic may enter the Gulf through the Cabot Strait and can be severe. We monitored Environment Canada's weather forecasts constantly. With Roc Perce in the distance and nearing Ile Bonaventure, we were engulfed in several pods of dolphins feeding on a school of mackerel. With the clearing sky behind Bonaventure and hundreds of northern gannets diving, it was a magnificent scene, although difficult to capture on tape. There are two species of dolphins found in the waters of the St. Lawrence, the Atlantic white-sided dolphin and the white-beaked dolphin. It's hard to tell from the pictures, but I think these may be white-beaked. By the time we reached L'Anse-Beaufils, the sun was out and our dock neighbors from Canadian Miss went mackerel fishing near the harbor entrance, managing to get a pailful in a short time. Although you can anchor at Bonaventure near the tour boat dock, it's not well protected, and our new friend in Gaspé, Benoit on Fiji, advised us to take one of the tour boats to the island. We called a taxi, actually the only taxi in Perce, to take us the 9 kilometers from Anse-Beaufils to Perce, where the tour boats depart from. We were initially a bit worried that the trip might be a bit touristy for us, but that turned out to not be the case. Perce Rock, or Rocher Perce, the monolith just off the town shore, is accessible at low tide and is of impressive size, 450 meters long, 90 meters wide, and 85 meters high. Its name is derived from the holes the sea and wind has pierced to form archways. There may have been 4 arches at one time, but only one large opening, 30 meters wide, still exists. One arch eroded in 1845, leaving the pillar known as the obelisk. The swirling mass of gannets set against the pink granite of Bonaventure and the blue Gulf of St. Lawrence is a sight not to be missed. Northern gannets are a large, long-winged, mostly white bird with a yellowish-tinged head and black wingtips. The largest colony in the St. Lawrence is at Ile Bonaventure and comprises about 30,000 breeding pairs. Gannets begin breeding when about 5 years old, and during breeding season each pair produces a single egg that is incubated for about 40 days. The chicks are fed by its parents for about 90 days before beginning to hunt for themselves. We shot this footage in August, and you can see that there were many fuzzy chicks in the colony at that time. Our northern gannets are related to the boobies found in Mexico and the Caribbean and are every bit as comical and noisy. Bonaventure is a federal migratory bird sanctuary and a Quebec provincial park. At the head of the Anse-à-Beaufils harbor sits a converted fish plant that now houses La Vieille Usine, a performance hall and restaurant. There is also a microbrewery, Pit Caribou, on the opposite shore, whose beer is served in the hall. The name of this village was supposedly inspired by a young French noble called Bonfils, who lived here at the time of colonization. Overall, it's an interesting mix of pleasure and working boats, well protected, and there are showers and washrooms at the hull. The wall that you tie up on is shared with the Bonaventure tour boats and can be a little tricky for smaller yachts like ours. You have to allow for tide when tying up as well. Ask the dockmaster for help if you're not familiar with this type of docking as we were.